What's up everybody? Today I will be telling you all the truth about improving in Fortnite. Now I'm not a top player on this game, but I've been seeing a lot of progress recently and it got me thinking about how I got to where I am now. And just like a lot of you, I've watched tons of videos on how to get better at this game. I've watched all the editing, building, and fighting videos, and they do help, but not as much as people may think. So I thought to myself, what makes the best players so much better than everyone else, and what makes peterbot specifically better than every pro? And after some thought, I was able to narrow it down to just 3 things that cover every aspect of this game. These 3 things cover building, editing, aim, and everything else in between. And these 3 things are preparation, game sense, and execution. And I'll get more in depth on explaining these things, but a basic summary is what and how do you practice, how do you apply what you practice, and can you execute? And I continue to think about this to see if there's anything that I'm missing, and every fight in this game comes down to those 3 things. Now how can you use this information to improve your game? Still practice edits, piece control, building, aim, etc. And this is going to be your preparation. I can make a video giving you a detailed practice routine. Just leave it in the comments if you want to see something like that. Next we have game sense, and a quick explanation for those who don't know is that your game sense is your ability to know what to do in fights or just any situation that's thrown at you throughout the game. And how do you improve this? The best way that I've learned is to watch full pro gameplays and watch your own gameplay to see what is being done right and what is being done wrong. And the reason I recommend watching full gameplays is because game sense isn't just about fighting, it's also about knowing things like the map, current weapons, and also very important, rotates. And by watching the full gameplays of highly skilled players, whether it's a win or a loss, you'll start to see that everything they do has some type of reason. And the more you start to pick up on things like this, the better your game sense will be. Now I will go over the wrong and right ways to review gameplay. Right here we have this fight from peterbot, and you don't want to just think, okay, do anything to take the wall, and then once you get it, start spraying in. Then move to the right and try to take the wall again. Once you don't, just heal up. Start spraying the walls and applying pressure. And then try to take the wall, make a wide edit, and start spraying through for the kill. Like I said, that is what not to do. The right way is to pay attention to common habits, angles, edits, etc. For example, the correct way to review this same fight would be to say, okay, try to take the wall from a right hand angle to avoid being hit, and stay on the right hand even once you get it to go for damage. Don't swing your pickaxe twice on walls because it leaves you vulnerable to take damage. Even the best players make mistakes sometimes, and you can learn from that as well. Because of that, if you can, now you can take the time to heal. When pressuring a wall, do so from an angle that keeps you protected. But whatever you do, make sure you stay shot ready because you never know when your opponent might open up, leaving you a chance to take the wall or do damage. Remember, you should be reviewing your own deaths in this same manner. Look for a bad angle or missed edits or a missing piece on your part. These are just to name a few common mistakes most players make. As for execution, which is the final stage of this breakdown, all it is using your preparation and game sense together and completing what you attempt to do. And that's why peterbot is currently dominating the competition, because he's able to execute more than anybody that plays this game right now. Now I will go over a few deaths of my own to kind of prove this explanation. Right here, I executed on what I wanted to do and still lost. This just means my game sense was off and I went for the wrong plays. This is also a good time to VOD review. As you can see right here, I wasn't shot ready and I took a big hit. But I kept applying pressure for a little bit before healing, and ultimately lost this fight because I didn't have a cone in my box, which allowed him to place the ramp through and get peas and then finish the fight. Here I got all the peas, played my angles well, got this player low, but missed my last shot and lost. This means the game sense was good and I made the right play, I just didn't fully execute. Now right here is an off-spawn death, and this could be blamed on a lack of preparation. If I got a better drop, I would have landed and picked up the weapon faster, which means I probably would have gotten this kill. Now there are some rare instances where things may truly not be your fault, such as hitting blanks or whatever other miscellaneous glitches are in this game, but 99% of fights come down to a lack of at least one of these three things. One thing that I do that I think would help a lot of players is remember that for every fight that I lose, there's somebody out there that would have won. And to make it a little easier to understand if you don't already, I'll show this clip. Now right here I lost the fight, but in my head I already know that multiple players out there would have not lost this fight. And all that means is that I just have to get better. Thinking like this will get you out of the mindset of making excuses for your losses. Also, something else that I've never heard anyone else talk about is unfortunately trying to learn how to play like someone, whether it's peterbot, clix, or any other pro, is pointless. This game can be played in so many different ways, and when you watch pros or just any good player in general, you see how different everyone plays. You can watch clix drop a 30 bomb, and you can watch Pete drop a 30 bomb, and the two gameplays will look completely different. This is because all of our brains work in different ways, and with this game there's basically an infinite amount of right ways you can play and an infinite amount of wrong ways you can play. So trying to get your brain to work identically to other players is essentially pointless. And this is because in the moment you will never be able to think this is what peterbot would do simply because you're not him. Another way to think about it, you could put Pete and clix in the exact same situation, have the same loot, same health, same mats, and fighting the same player. And even though they both get the kill, they would play it two different ways. And this just goes back to them having different brains. All that matters is that you get the kill, it doesn't matter how you do it. And that's how you all should be going about it. Practice your mechs, improve your game sense from watching pros and yourself, and get out there and put what you're learning to use. And the more you do it, the more you'll begin to execute. With that being said, if you want to play more like peterbot, watch this video on the left. And if you want to learn how you should be playing every zone, watch this video on the right. Thanks for watching. See ya.